You brought a video. You brought your phone?
No, I had a USB video memory stick done like spy shot.
But Diddy smart. He filmed every session, so he was and the freak boy that run Universal Music Group. So he got them on some tapes.
Stolen, do you want to talk about that now?
Yeah.
Just break it down. What happened?
I mean, it was a videotape that we did at my house just for my private collection. You know what I mean? Snoop was a
spy and slippery soap. I'm actually using it myself, so just stay tuned to see Diddy and Rose wash a car.
Do you guys remember Diddy's slave, Jonathan Oddi, the guy who said Diddy is part of the Boulé, the Black Illuminati? Well, he finally got a hearing date set for October 13 after he spent 8 years without a trial. However, they might push that date again because this has been going on for a long time. Every time he gets a hearing date, it gets delayed and he remains in custody with no court date in sight. So how is this even legal? How can someone be held for 8 years with no trial? So far, 8 different trial prosecutors have been assigned, while public periodic status reports keep getting filed and hearings getting canceled. There's something very, very strange about this case, and we need to talk about this because apparently the reason they're keeping this man in custody without a trial date is because he knows a lot of incriminating information about some very powerful people, from rappers Diddy allegedly made him sleep with to big political figures, including presidents. Honestly, I fear they're never going to let Oddi go to trial. They're going to keep moving that date until he takes a deal that includes a gag order, or until something happens to him in jail. Alright, so in case you're not familiar with the strange case of Jonathan Oddi, he's a former adult film actor and fitness instructor who has become a figure of public interest after 2 bizarre and seemingly connected events: an incident at a Trump property and his interrogation where he made wild claims about his relationship with Diddy. In May 2018, Oddi entered the lobby of the Trump National Doral Golf Club in Miami carrying an American flag. According to the Miami Herald, Oddi, who is originally from South Africa, got into a firefight and chase with police while ranting about Donald Trump, Barack Obama, and P. Diddy. He fired shots into the ceiling and at a chandelier, then exchanged with police, who shot legs and arrested him. Police later described it as an ambush-type attack on officers. Oddi was charged with serious felonies, including attempted murder of law enforcement officers, armed burglary, and armed grand theft.
Police say he then got into a gun battle with responding officers who shot him in the legs, sending him to the hospital.
There were more than, I believe, two uniformed officers, in addition to the unarmed security guard who threatened to well.
And since 2018, Oddi has been held in a Florida jail, awaiting trial on these charges from the Doral shooting. So now he's back in the news because he just got a new trial hearing date scheduled, October 13th. But like I said, this has been going on for years. They give him a date, and then when the date approaches, they push it back. So we'll have to wait and see what happens in October. But now we need to talk about what Jonathan Oddi knows, because it's not a coincidence that this man has been kept in jail for 8 years with no trial. So during his police interrogation back in 2018, Oddi made some shocking statements that were initially dismissed, and you can tell the investigators didn't take him seriously, and they probably thought he was out of his mind. He claimed he had been Diddy's slave and forced to participate in freak-offs with Cassie while Diddy watched and directed them. Oddi alleged he had about 15 of these encounters and was paid around $800 each time. He also claimed these freak-off sessions involved different types of substances. Now, the Diddy connection becomes even more interesting when you read this report by the Daily Mail, which says that before he was arrested for that incident, Jonathan Oddi was a stripper and an adult film actor and worked for the adult website Dancing Bear, which produces videos showing women performing acts on male entertainers wearing plush bear costumes. And some of you might remember, Cassie revealed in her lawsuit that Diddy forced her into freak-offs with male workers and made them all wear masks. But things got even crazier after a video surfaced of Oddi's interrogation, where he made more wild claims about Diddy and other high-profile rappers. First, Oddi mentioned that Diddy sent Ross, as in Rick Ross, to silence him. And he claimed that Diddy, Ross, and DJ Khaled are all gay.
Diddy sent Ross, which they good buddies, okay? They're gay.
Who?
Both. Diddy and Ross. And Khaled. They're all gay, okay?
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and P. Diddy?
Yeah.
They all gay?
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Khaled is a Hamas supporter.
Oddi then talked about how he was intimate with both Diddy and Cassie on multiple occasions, and how Diddy would watch and record him and Cassie.
I had sex with Cassie and Sean Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard a lot.
But then it got even weirder. Jonathan claimed these freak-offs were actually rituals, and he said the Illuminati bond over these bedroom rituals, mind control, and sacrifices. And then Oddi mentioned the Bohemian Grove, a restricted campground in Monte Rio, California, that belongs to a private gentleman's club known as the Bohemian Club. In mid-July each year, Bohemian Grove hosts this secretive 2-week retreat of some of the most prominent men in the world, ranging from government officials and business leaders to artists and musicians. Listen to what Oddi said about all this.
They do satanic ritual, which is basically CIA mind programming techniques to their own family, kids, etc. in the group, and they bond that way, okay? So they do sexual pedophilia, they do kill animals, sacrifices, and everything in the Bohemian Grove, okay? The Bohemian Grove, the bushes go there.
And when asked how he knows this, Oddi claimed he heard it all from Diddy. And then he alleged that Diddy is a member of something called the Boulé, the black branch of the Illuminati. And according to Oddi, Diddy is deeply connected to the political elites through his lawyers, Mark Garagos and Ben Meiselas.
Okay, how do I know this?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. How do you know this?
Do you know Sean Combs?
Puff Daddy?
Yeah.
P. Diddy, whatever you call himself these days. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's part of what's called the Boulé. The Boulé is a branch of the Illuminati.
Okay.
It's the black people. Okay. I'm from Africa, so I'm not a racist. I had settlement with Sean, okay? And he belongs to that agenda. That's why he's so famous. They land all the contracts.
What's also very interesting is that Oddi made a connection between Diddy's lawyers Kenny and Ben Meiselas and Michael Jackson, claiming that Ben was involved in the alleged murder of Michael over publishing rights. And this should tell you how deep this rabbit hole really goes. This was never just about Diddy. It's way, way bigger than that. Now, Jonathan may sound like he's not all there in this video, but he was telling the truth about Diddy's lawyers. When Diddy won the BET Lifetime Achievement Award in 2022, he actually shouted out Ben Meiselas' father, Kenny, who is also a high-powered attorney. Isn't it crazy how Jonathan Oddi was right about everything? He literally called everything 5 years before Cassie even dropped her lawsuit, but everyone thought he was just some rambling lunatic. By the way, Oddi also claimed during his interrogation that Diddy infected him with an STD, and they later allegedly settled a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. But Oddi didn't stop there. He then claimed he had a recording of one of the freak-off sessions, and though Diddy's lawyers initially made him return it as part of the settlement, he said he could probably still produce a copy.
Did Mark Garagos and Ben Meiselas were his attorneys, okay? And Christopher Leon's here was my attorney. They asked me to turn in that, which was the video recording, and I did so. They gave it back to me accidentally, and it's possible, I threw everything out, it's possible I can produce a copy.
So it sounds like this man has receipts. No wonder they won't let him out or give him a fair trial. Remember, Diddy had the right to a speedy trial, but this guy has no right to a trial? Just imagine what kind of information he holds. Oddi already mentioned Rick Ross and DJ Khaled, but who knows how many other rappers took part in these freak-offs? And not just rappers, but also probably some very powerful people from business and politics. But let's talk about Ross and Khaled for a second, because I feel they didn't get enough scrutiny over their very close friendship with Diddy. So let's start with Ross. It's no secret that Ross was close with Diddy for years, and there's actually a ton of footage out there of them partying, chilling at Diddy's mansion, and even washing cars together. Now, you heard Jonathan Oddi say Rick Ross definitely bats for the other team. Well, Corey Holcomb recently backed these allegations and claimed Ross hooked up with his male driver back in the day. And then Rick Ross's ex, Tia Kemp, stirred the pot even more, and she publicly claimed Ross is one of the rappers on those Diddy FO tapes. Tia wrote, "Don't be scared now. No Diddy. You scared now, huh? I know you on them tapes. Freaky B, I know you is. 10 children having MF'er. I ain't gonna let off you. What you quiet for? Nobody wants to see your LV outfits and sneakers, B. Nobody don't want to see the Jets no more. You running out of hoes? now. Go over there and give Diddy a hug. Go ride the bike with him, you fat bee. Now, as for DJ Khaled, Rihanna's former publicist, Jonathan Hay, recently came forward to back Oddi's allegations, and he named both Khaled and Jay-Z as bisexual rappers. But like I said, this Diddy rabbit hole goes way deeper than any of us realize. This isn't about which rapper's on the DL or in the closet. That's all a distraction. The real question is, why has Jonathan Oddi been locked up for 8 years without a trial? It seems we've barely scratched the surface on this. And just like the Jeffrey E. case, this feels like part of something darker and way bigger than we're being told. But let me hear your thoughts on all this. What do you make of Jonathan Oddi's allegations? And what do you think is the real reason they won't give him his day in court? Drop your thoughts below, and I'll catch you in the next one.